welcome to the Bear Pit Pod. We're back. I don't feel like this is going to be a fun one.
It's a weird one, wasn't it? Because we hadn't done one for a while. The last one we did was before Wigan, wasn't it?
We missed last week, yeah, because there was a Carabao, what we'll come on to, which is the Carabao Cup game.
So I mean, it's fair to say that the last couple of weeks or so has been down, up, back down. And that's where we sit at this present moment is down.
At this time.
Yeah.
Let's cover it off first then. So the Carabao Cup, we beat a Premier League side in Huddersfield. Mm-hmm. Berahino got his first goal. Yeah. No matter how fluky
what a strike.
If it was an own goal
what a strike that was.
He's off the mark, at least. You know, it's not hanging over him anymore.
No.
And we also saw one of the best own goals I've ever seen.
It's amazing, wasn't it?
What a volley.
It's amazing. I mean, when I look back on Stoke the past couple of weeks, yeah, we won here and there. Still not overly convincing, but we won. But that probably raised one of the biggest smiles this season so far, that own goal. Because it was hilarious.
It was brilliant.
You could not do that if you tried, could you?
And I like how he stayed down, like he was injured, like out of embarrassment.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And you wouldn't get up after that, to be fair.
But we needed a bit of comedy at Stoke.
Have you seen a better own goal than that at Stoke?
No, not at Stoke. There was that famous one. I can't remember any details. It's not worth going into. I was going to quote another one, but it doesn't matter. Not worth it.
I think that's the best one I've seen.
It's phenomenal. It's the perfect storm. Keeper well off his line, slice volley.
The only one that tops that in all of football history is it Ronnie Rosenthal, where he gets it over the defender's head and then heads it over the keeper.
Yeah, that was good.
Jesus.
That was good. That was smart.
But obviously we come on to the impending doom of the weekend on West Brom. So we started with a 4-4-2, Berahino and Crouch, which I don't think had been done previously in any game.
Yeah, that started against Hull, didn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think it did.
Is it not a phobia in Berahino? Not too sure.
I think it was Crouch.
Gone now.
I don't know, whatever.
Was it Crouch and Phobia?
Maybe. Either way, that was the starting pair against West Brom.
Yep, Fletcher was dropped and it was a midfield of Allen, Etebo, Juve and McLean. I think everyone was a bit surprised maybe at Phobia not starting.
Kind of. I mean, Berahino had to start. I thought that Crouch had a good game against... it was Crouch. Yeah, I thought Crouch played well against Hull. But then obviously Phobia came in against Huddersfield, and I think it was 6-1 a little bit. You had two strikers that played reasonably well in the past two games. Crouch scored at West Brom last year. I think him and Berahino might have something. I wasn't overly surprised that Crouchy started, but I suppose it's more I'm always torn between, should we be relying on a 37, 38-year-old at this stage when we've been relegated, when we've bought a Phobia and all the rest of it, or if somebody's doing it, do you persist with them? I don't know. I'm sometimes stuck between that philosophy or mentality. I mean, just because he's old, does it mean he's not good? I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? In this game, of course, the person who was going to score and open the scoring was the man who we were apparently pursued this summer in Dwight Gale. He struck first with what I have to say is a tremendous goal. The turn, rounded Butland, slotted home. I've seen a clip back, and I don't think it was good. Like they worked it from back to front, that passing move, which eventually resulted in a goal. And I've seen a few people analyse that goal afterwards, saying we didn't at any point really put too much pressure on them, or put a challenge in. It was all just. Soft.
It was very reminiscent of what I think has been Stoke's biggest problem this season. Is
not being dirty enough, or not dirty, but
being
aggressive.
Able to press and aggressive. We've seen every opposition we've played this year, even when we beat Hull and Huddersfield, the opposition seemed to have an eternity on the ball.
Yeah.
When we get the ball, it's on top of us like that, isn't it? Absolutely on top of us, the pressure. But when the opposition have the ball, we just, I don't know. We seem unfit, but I can't. I can't believe that Raoult would put out an unfit team, or at least not press for fitness being a priority. But something's not right. I don't know if it's positioning, or the players not being arsed, not having the right kind of mentality or attitude. We seem to be 2 yards off of the opposition every single time they've got the ball. That's the biggest gap this season I've noticed. We're just yards off.
And in the first half, it was pretty much all West Brom, I think.
Yeah.
They were getting peppered. And certainly, if you watch any of the highlights or anything like that, it certainly represents that.
You seem really down about it.
I am. It fucking.
I mean, we all are,
pissing me
obviously.
off.
But just
this
come
was
here.
supposed to be the season when we fucking win every game and go back up.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
I mean, I'm naturally down as an ex-Stoke fan, but just looking at your into your eyes here, Al, you look a bit exacerbated by it all. A bit fed up.
Pissing me off.
It is, isn't it?
The Championship is pissing me off now. Having paid for these £5 streams and go using a VPN at the weekend if you can't go and fucking. It's just shit.
This is the thing, when we come down, there was this anticipation that we
if we were winning
hit the
game,
ground running, and it wouldn't make a difference, relegated or not. If you're winning, it is exciting still, isn't it? But we can't even get that, really, can we?
I feel like, even though we've changed the majority of the squad, the majority of the team, I feel like the club's the same. I don't feel like enough's changed.
What do you really want to change? What do you think
I'd
would really shift?
I'd get rid of Tony Scholes.
Yeah.
I'd get rid of Tony Scholes. I'd get rid of
Cartwright.
Just bring someone in who's got, little bit of, some new ideas, some new thinking, some new, I can feel this ethos through the club that it's all about
stagnation.
It's all about penny pinching. It's all about saving money. It's all about doing things on a shoestring when we've got the funds to do fucking more.
We've spent a lot though, haven't we?
Well, not net.
Net, maybe not, but let's face it, Shaqiri was always going to go, and there were several players that were always going to go, and it's not like we reluctantly sold Shaqiri because he was never staying, was he? I look at who we've bought, and I think we've bought some decent players this level. I do think the biggest mess up for this transfer window is not strengthening the wings.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll come on to it. McLean's broke his arm or something like that. Brilliant. So I mean, we had two out and out wingers. One's done his arm. That's the biggest mess up for me.
Hasn't been in the team for a couple of games.
Ince is now gone. We've got no depth on the wings, and we've got about 500,000 centre midfielders.
Yeah.
Of reasonable varying quality, but we've got nothing on the wings, and Bojan can't get a sniff.
That's another one. What the fuck is Bojan doing out of the side? I mean,
I don't know. I've not always been, because I think there's generally the kind of the agreed philosophy that Bojan has been very unlucky at Stoke since his injury. I agree with that to a certain point. At the same time, I do see the flaws in when he comes in a little bit. I think he's easily pushed off the ball. He doesn't track. But at the same time, when we look at the current kind of performances, we are crying out for someone with a bit of creativity.
we need someone who can just
crying
pick
out
a pass
for it.
or fucking move it about, shift it about, create something, be a bit more energetic on the ball. We've got none of that.
And he's not coming on. And when he has come on recently, he's been on like the wing or the right midfield, which is it's almost put in there to prove a point. It's almost to go, well, look, he can't do it. But that's not his position.
We've sort of strayed away from the match here, but yeah, carry on.
Well, I don't know. I'm with you, Ali. It's just been a shocking start to the season, and you wouldn't mind to a point. 'Cause I think Newcastle had a poor start to the season when they went up the other year. But in between this, within this shit start from Newcastle, I remember that they battered QPR 6-1. The performances were there. Even when we beat Huddersfield and Hull, I've not seen a great deal of evidence to suggest that we're gonna.
I've seen nothing that makes me think, oh, we'll turn it around soon.
Yeah.
There's positive signs there.
No,
I'm not seeing that.
Nothing at all.
I'm not even seeing promotion playoffs at the minute.
I'm starting to change my kind of end of season thinking. I just can't help but think this is going to be a flop into the playoffs at best sort of season.
At best.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
Unless there's a big... If it all clicks, if something changes... I just can't see it changing at the minute, because we're getting it out wide to the wingers and we're just crossing it in, and it's coming to nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
I'm trying to think of any... I think this is probably the most negative we've started a show.
Probably.
I mean, and that's saying something over the past 18 months.
Off.
I can tell, yeah. I tell you what I really wanted to discuss today, and I don't know if I'm jumping all over the agenda, but what team are we meant to play now with Klukas, Joe Allen, Etebo, Woods, Adam, Bojan? Why have we got so many central midfielders? I don't know how on earth you fit all these in, but no wingers.
I'm not too sure. When Woods came on at the weekend, looked quite bright. But
yeah, he's a good player.
Again,
he's a good player.
Who's been sacrificed in that team? Because to me, I think it's going to be Etebo sacrifice. But what was the fucking point in buying him? Where does Klukas go into that if you're playing Joe Allen?
I don't know.
Joe Allen's been pretty poor.
Well, whilst we're on Joe Allen, I think
Joe Allen's been poor.
I'm not going to kind of pull the rug from the Joe Allen completely and say, he's completely rubbish and all the rest of it. But I'll say this much: he has had a shocking start to the season.
It's been awful.
And if anyone's going to get dropped from that central midfield area,
but I don't think
it's got to be him. I don't think it'll be him. I don't think it will be either. I think we've almost there's going to be a sort of what's the word? He signed a new contract. He showed loyalty towards. Are we going to do the same back? We know there's a better player there, but I think he needs a few games on the bench. And I think we need to get Woods into that squad as soon as possible.
And then then Klukas. Where does Klukas come in? Does he go?
God knows.
Is he going to play left back? Is he going to play? I don't know, left wing. While McLean's out, where's he going to be?
Perhaps. And whilst we're on it here, Bauer.
We'll come on to that.
We're going to come on to Bauer.
Yeah,
Same thing again.
He's been bombed
out, and I don't really know why.
But we will get back into the game anyway because we are going on a bit away from the agenda anyway.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go on. It's a fucking podcast.
I think we had at the start of the agenda just a mini rant.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, they were peppering us, and McLean, the one that sticks out to me, had a half chance. He chased down the keeper. The keeper kicked it against him. It bounced it just over the bar.
But if we're going to be negative again, that was not great. I mean, how many goals have we scored that have been sloppy this year or a penalty? Do you know what I mean? A lucky sort of goal. That would have been another one of them.
Then Carl Bartley for them had the ball in the back of the net, but it was a handball, rightly given a yellow card.
Yeah.
And then half time. After the half, I think Woods came on at some point. I'm not sure if it was half time. I can't quite remember.
We had Crouchy's chance as well first half.
Yes,
which was by his standards
straight at the keeper.
It's a sitter for Crouchy. That's an awful shot header.
And then second half, their next goal was a big ball over the top. The ball went out wide on the right hand side. One ball over the top, over Shaw across his head. Martina wasn't switched on. Gale ran in behind. Martina couldn't catch up. Touch, volley, past Jack Butland. And that really was rubbing salt in the wound for a player that we've apparently courted in the summer. I think Rowett's come out and said something publicly about not signing him as well.
Right.
I'll try and find it. But yeah, Dwight Gale showing us exactly what we should have signed.
Yeah.
We should have gone and spent big money on Gale and Richie. We should have.
How much did Gale cost for West Brom?
I'm not too sure. I'll have to look into that. Gale West Brom.
I don't know. But this at the same time, I mean, Afobe's not rubbish, is he?
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like I still don't think it's the quality that's necessarily lacking. It's something else. The mentality of the players is just not right at the moment.
Gale's on loan.
He's on loan, is he? Okay. You'd like to think we'd have a bit more money in the bank to offer wage-wise on West Brom. Oh, yeah, certainly 100%. To be able to compete, but we obviously didn't go there.
Yeah, 100%. It's just one of them. It seems so many times that we have just missed out on someone by not offering
that little bit extra.
That little bit.
Yeah. 2-0. The penalty. You'll probably know this, Al, because I just never know this sort of stuff. Should that have been a red, or has there been a rule change?
No, you can't do double or triple punishment, whatever it is.
That's a load of rubbish, though, isn't it? So you're saying basically you can't give away a blatant penalty and then be sent off because it's double punishment?
Basically.
I think that's a load of rubbish.
Basically.
I mean, just handball it on the line, take the striker out then. I don't get that at all.
I can't find... I was trying to find the Gary Rowett thing, but basically I think what you can make of it is that he said that we went after both of them, we just didn't ever offer a fee. We never got round to actually offering.
Right. That's important, isn't it? That sort of stuff.
Well, that's how a transfer works, Craig. That is
how
a transfer works, but it never materialised. But going back to the penalty, Afobe stepped up, smashed it against the bar. I think he was trying to take the net off, and it's just too much power over placement. He was going in the right direction, but that extra bit of power has just sent it onto the bar.
Yeah, he just bloody subbed it up, didn't it?
It compounded the misery to a miserable day. Peters did grab one late. Fuck me, I can't speak. Peters grabbed one late on, but it wasn't enough. It was an absolute screaming. I'm not sure what Eric Peters is doing this season.
I don't know.
But he's scoring belters.
There was a good goal. We're going to have to, if we're going to claw or dig out any positives in the game, and it is for Eric, who gets a lot of negatives. It was a bloody good goal.
It was a good strike.
It's an amazing strike. I don't know where he pulled that one from.
Top corner, flew in like a rocket.
But ultimately means bugger all.
Yeah, of course it does.
Because we thoroughly deserved to lose, and you could argue 2-1 was flattering for us. Really, I mean, we didn't offer enough to be in the game.
No.
And we were never in the game. It was like the last second or so we scored. So,
and I think this week I'm completely going to scrap best worst man of the match.
Yeah,
I couldn't name one. Can you? Can you name your best performers? I certainly can say name the worst, but
name the worst. Go on.
Peter's had a shocker, I think, apart from the goal.
Yeah.
Alan was awful.
Butland, a bit shaky.
Juve, I don't think Juve was up to much. I could go on. I could go on and I could name a lot of them. But when you're coming round to best, maybe Woods when he came on.
Woods a reasonable debut, I suppose. The quicker we get him back in that first 11, the better.
But yeah, let's leave that section for this week. So we had a little bit of a ramble earlier on. But what is going wrong? Is it the tactics? What is it? Tactics, players not clicking. Have we not got the right squad?
I don't know.
Gary Rowett the right man?
I mean, for the past 18 months, be it Hughes, Lambert or Rowett, I've not known what formation suits this club at the moment. I still don't know. I've generally advocated for 4-4-2 because I don't think we've got the striker to play 4-3-3 with that one up top sort of thing. But eventually 4-4-2 kind of becomes unstuck as well, and it starts to look a bit sloppy, as it did under Rowett, Lambert and Hughes when they tried it on the odd occasion. I honestly, I don't know. I'm at an absolute loss to give any sort of explanations as to what I feel is the problem at Stoke. The one thing I'm going to kind of keep wondering back to is there seems to be this infestation of negativity around the club, from the fans to the players. And if that remains and if that infects the club, as I feel like it has done, we're never going to get anywhere. What club's been promoted with such kind of a negative vibe around the place? No club will ever go up with that sort of thing. I don't know how you fix that. The only thing I can remotely suggest is we need to get as many fresh new faces into that first 11 as possible, just to kind of shift out that dead wood, that kind of negative attitude, that nervous energy. That's all I've got, Al. That's all I've got.
Still, a lot of people have mentioned it, but I still think that cloud is just over the club at the minute from coming down. I think it's still lingering around.
The players that I see it in more than any are Joe Allen, Shawcross, Butland to a lesser extent. Butland's had an absolute shocking 18 months to 2 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
On his way to being England's won the World Cup, and I felt very confident in saying that to, in the moment, an average championship keeper. I don't know how you remove it, but we've got to. Do we drop these? We need to drop these players that are seemingly kind of stuck in this kind of this relegation mindset still.
And it's too late now because the transfer window is shut. So it's too late to make any changes.
I honestly think now I think it's worth giving Williams and India a go at the back. Just I'm not saying Ryan's dropped forever here, but I just think we need to kind of get some fresh sort of faces in there just to try and alter the mood slightly. And Alan needs to be dropped the next game. He's not done enough this season. He looks too nervous on the ball for his own good. It's just not worth it. Let's get these new faces in. Woods and Etebo to start. Williams and India at the back.
Yep. And then obviously, like I said earlier, the transfer window has shut. We had some outgoings.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Let's start with the biggest one of them all. Chupo went to PSG.
Of course he did.
The club mutual termination of his contract with a couple of years left, and the richest club in the world got a player for free.
I don't understand that.
How does that work?
That's blown my mind.
Charge them a fucking fee.
Well, Stoke obviously backed into corner. I think PSG, it just blows my mind to say that, but PSG knew we didn't want him. He'd not been in any squad. He's probably eating up 50, 60 grand a week-ish, I'd guess. Our options were keep this player on our books for the next, how long is his contract? Another 2-3 years?
Yeah.
Cost us millions. Or just get him off the wage bill.
I know, but
you'd think. PSG didn't need him. They can say we can take him.
On this note, how much talent have we brought in for massive fees that are currently just going away on loan, running the contracts down, going for free? We can't seem to command a fee for anyone.
No.
Sobby was 5 million. That we got a fee there.
Yeah.
But Shaqiri, his minimum release clause Before that, Arnautovic,
Yeah.
biggest fee we've ever received.
We've had
got players in
Enzonzi's another one.
7 million.
I know he was on the last year of his contract, but you see
No sell-on clause.
no selling clause. I do agree with that. That seems to happen a lot with Stoke, doesn't it?
It's like
when's the
we
last time
can't
we had a
sell
big
him.
fee for somebody
On
in this day and age? But even that wasn't.
It's 25.
I don't know. I can't help but
But
think
he was
in this
worth,
day and age, there's
but
more.
He'd commanded that fee. That was a correct fee. We just got players going out on loan, running the contracts down, getting no money for them.
Yeah.
We can't sell anyone. It's like, what are you fucking doing in the boardroom? What negotiating are you doing? Because there isn't any. They're just saying, right, you can have him on loan, just pay his wages for us.
Yeah.
We're just getting people off the books. We aren't selling players for profit. We aren't even getting close to what we brought them for. Kevin Wimmer and Bula.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, you're spot on. I don't know. And the frustrating thing with Choupo-Moting to PSG is, for all his faults, and he had faults, and he was a frustrating player in more ways than one. As I said earlier, we've got no wingers. We've let someone go for free.
Yeah, to PSG.
And I don't know if Raul had fallen out with him, or we must have done, or he didn't like his attitude.
He'd help us now with McLean injured.
100% he would. And if PSG had bought him for anything at all, you'd think bonus here. We've sold him for a fee and we've got him off the wages. But we're desperate for wingers, and we've literally given one away. I'm not saying Choupo-Moting was the answer to our problems at all, because we know we've got a load of faults, but we've literally given a winger away when we're crying out for one. Baffling. I don't understand that whole thing. It's bizarre.
I don't understand.
If I'm going to pick any positives, we've got him off the wage bill, but it doesn't matter anyway now, because we
understand
can't bring
our-
anyone in.
Yeah, I don't understand our boardroom. I don't understand Tony Scholes, what he's doing. Cartwright, don't understand him. Another one, Cameron, loan to QPR.
This one baffles me as well.
Let's send a big utility man to a rival in the same league on loan.
Yeah, I don't get this one. Cameron for me has always been a player that showed great attitude. I think. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but he seemed like a player that he kept himself. I know he had not the best injury record, but he was a bit of an athlete when he was on the pitch and actually available for us. Utility man, centre back, which we need. Centre midfield, right back maybe, which we need. He's gone.
Yeah,
he shouldn't have gone.
I don't
He shouldn't
mind
have
him.
gone.
I don't mind him going. I mean, obviously you said you keep him, but I don't mind him going. But I just don't get loaning him to a club in the same division.
I'd like to think we won't be competing with QPR. I hope to God not, because they're going to be
but
down there. I understand that
still.
point, but I just think that's a weird one. I think Cameron, on the whole, I'd sum up as being a decent player for Stoke, not exceptional,
because
but
there was
decent.
originally talk of him going move to Germany.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But this about this going to QPR just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense.
I just club aside, I just don't think he should have. I just don't think he should have gone. To be honest, who's that?
Matt.
I just don't think he should have gone. I think there was use for him there. Certainly, when you consider our centre backs a little bit limited and not firing. Another bizarre. I can understand why Bula and the likes weren't in the squad, but I think Cameron, I just can't think he would have added something this year. Gone. That's another one gone.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not gone because he's coming back. This is the thing. They're all coming back.
You can't get rid of half of them.
Can't get rid of them. And speaking of ones who are coming back, and Bula on loan to Rayo Vallecano.
He's been a weird signing, and from start to finish. What an odd player.
So that's another one. And Bula's gone and coming back. The thing is, these players, they're all just going to walk away for free at the end of the contract.
I know they are.
Just terminate the contracts now if you're not going to do anything with them, and just loan them out for 3 years.
I don't know. I like
And lastly, we'll just cover it off. Ngoy went to Grasshopper Zurich.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Deploy Ngoy.
Yeah,
abroad.
Yeah, later on.
To nowhere.
Tell what, I'll come into this podcast naturally down about Stoke, but you've brought me down
I'm helping.
several
I'm
pegs
helping.
now.
Well, do you want another one? Do you want another knock-on blow? If reports are to be believed, Alan Nixon, who's hit and miss. Like, people think he speaks gospel, but he's not.
Who's he?
He's a bit of a bellend, actually. I think it's for the Sun,
right?
Which says it all, really.
It probably will be. Yeah.
But he reported that Bojan was apparently offered to West Brom.
To West Brom?
Yeah, Bojan was apparently offered to West Brom, and they said no in the end. Imagine if that happened.
Bloody hell! Well, you know what? West Brom or not, it's pretty obvious that we were trying to get rid of Bojan by the end. There was links to Red Star.
Yeah, Belgrade
as well. I don't understand that one for life.
So apparently,
Howard does not like him.
He said West Brom tried for Bojan in the final hours of the window. Stoke would have done the business, but price was not agreed.
Oh, that would have been
Imagine
mutiny.
that.
That would have been mutiny if he'd have gone.
I'd just give up.
I had a look on the oatcake when he was being touted for Red Star, and it was mutiny over there. People just couldn't believe that he wasn't, been given a chance. But
I still don't get how he's our most creative player. I know he doesn't fit into a 4-4-2.
No,
he only just fits into the 4-3-3 whether you're sacrificing a striker or putting him as the front of a three in midfield. But fuck me, he's a quality player. He's better than the Championship. I believe he's better than
he's certainly a better footballer than the Championship. The only thing I'd want for Bojan, since his injury, he's not been given a fair crack, a consistent crack in the squad, has he?
No,
he's not. He's been dropped, brought in, put in the wrong position under Hughes. Never was there for Lambert, and so far under Rowett, he's not done anything either. So I just think he needs another good shot at the team because he's not had that at all. So I don't know.
God knows.
It's just a bloody podcast.
This has not been a great podcast for anyone listening.
I feel bad for anyone that bothered tuning into this one. It's
a bad one.
Dour.
It's a bad one.
I shouldn't have bothered, to be honest.
It's
having a reasonable day till I come here.
That's why we have the alcohol, just to ease the pain.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Right. What else have we got?
So we did win against Huddersfield, the Premier League side, in the Carabao Cup. Mm-hmm. Our reward for that is Forest away.
Okay. I mean, for me, that's just like an Alan Partridge shrug of the shoulder. I don't know how to because the League Cup, when we're in the Prem, I was excited by it because I thought that was our best chance at winning something. Now it's just this annoying
It's a league game.
Yeah, exactly. At best, it's a kind of we might sneak a win and gather some momentum, maybe sort of competition, inject some confidence into your likes of Berahino, maybe Bojan. Don't know, whatever. Sorry, I shot that feature that little bit down, didn't I?
Hopefully we can win though.
Well, yeah, of course.
We've always, how many years have we gone out in the first round and wished we had a cup run?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, but the League Cup's just not in my priority at the moment. But
no,
of course I want us to win.
It might be if we're not even hitting the playoffs. A cup run might be what we need.
Imagine that if we won that this year. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
In Europe.
Yeah.
Tonight, as we're sort of doing this podcast, Stoke will be preparing for the Checkatrade Trophy.
Bauer will be warming up as we speak to face Sunderland in the Checkatrade.
The Iron Brew drinking Charlie Adam.
Yeah.
I went to Scotland at the weekend and I was... and you did.
Yeah.
The stereotypes played very true. I saw so much Iron Brew.
Iron Brew's going out of business, isn't it? I swear it's going to be stopped being sold.
Not in Scotland, it isn't.
Well, it can't. It's everywhere, isn't it?
They changed the recipe.
I don't think I've ever drank it.
I thought it was a joke when people were said to be stockpiling it because the recipe was changing. And that's an actual thing. I spoke to so many Scottish people who've been stockpiling Iron Brew.
I didn't taste any Iron Brew, but I did see a deep fried haggis in a chippy.
Did you?
Yeah.
God, Scotland really do play up to the stereotype.
They do, yeah.
But yeah, Charlie Adam's going to be playing, and Bauer, and we can go on to the Bauer bit a bit now. Why is he completely bombed?
I don't know. You know what? What this podcast has done for me, it's put more questions into my mind than I had before. Bauer is another one. There's so many baffling decisions going in this club, be it she promoting Bowie and Bauer. He must have pissed off Rowett in some way.
I mean, he didn't have a great start to season.
But who did?
Yeah, but doesn't deserve to be bombed.
And from what I've briefly seen of Bauer, he's been here 6-7 months now. He's always seemed like a player that's quite committed to the cause. I mean, I could be well off. I don't know him at all. I don't see him in training. But I was really baffled that players that generally get bombed to the under-23s, it's as a result of poor attitude, isn't it? And I can't see that from him.
So
I struggle to see it.
I noticed this. I don't think you may have, Craig. An hour ago, he posted on Instagram.
Right.
There's a picture of him in black and white, looking
bit somber.
Down. Yeah. And the caption was, "You got to learn to hide the anger. Practicing smiling in the mirror. It's like putting on a mask."
Jesus.
Hashtag rainy days. Hashtag no success without failure. Hashtag work harder. Hashtag climb again. Hashtag fear it. Hashtag focus. Hashtag and rise. If we thought we were being down and depressing, just check Bauer's Instagram.
You just want to know what's going on sometimes. You like Rowett to come out and say, look, I've not appreciated his attitude in training. I don't know the Bauer thing. For me, I think Bauer right back, give Martina a go at left back.
Yeah.
I think that's what it should be.
I really don't know what's gone on there, but Bauer deserves to be in or around this starting lineup. I don't know what the reason could be for him not being even in the squad.
I've said it several times in this podcast. Even though he played half a year last year, I thought he was our player of the season.
100%.
It was a shit season. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't overly difficult to win that particular accolade from me, but I thought he was our better player last year.
Do you think it could be that he's not one of Rowett's signings?
But neither was Allen, neither was Shawcross, neither was Butland.
But he was brought in. He was one of them sort of brought in just before. Shawcross, Allen had been here for a while.
I'd like to think a manager wouldn't be so petulant.
I mean, Bauer wasn't even a Lambert signing. He was a Hughes signing.
Yeah, right.
Sort of given the green light.
I'd like to think a manager wouldn't be so petulant to not play a player because he wasn't influential in bringing him to the club. But I'm baffled to know otherwise why he's not starting.
Answers on a postcard. Let us know what you think.
Has anybody got any sort of insight as to why Bauer's not playing? Someone that listens to this that knows someone at the club, some rumoured, some.
I haven't even seen anything.
Anything.
Like, usually you've got a reason.
Yeah.
I've not seen one snippet of what it might be.
Well, I said when I did my first 11 video the other week, I said I'm still not sure if he's been dropped or injured because I've heard a few rumours that he was injured, but that's not true, is it? He's just not.
He's fine. He's playing tonight.
Anybody out there that got a link into the club? Is there any explanation for why Bauer has been bombed? Because it's driving him up the wall.
Let us know.
He can't get near the first 11 or even the squad.
Let us know, please. We would.
We don't have a clue.
We haven't.
We're not a wealth of information at all.
McLean, I think we touched on it earlier. Injured.
Good.
In Republic of Ireland training. Broke his arm, I think, or his wrist. He's had surgery or going to have surgery. Out for a couple of weeks, maybe. Could even be back for the time we play again. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's
cast
a small
on or something.
Fracture or something.
Maybe one of them casts.
Yeah.
But yeah, just what we need. Injuries too.
Have we got an update on in so we know what he's done?
I'm not too
Was it
sure.
like a torn? I'm pointless with detail. If you come to his podcast for information in detail,
you won't get it.
You're not going to get it. I don't know what he did, but it's how long has he been out for now? It's 3 weeks.
Games, yeah.
3 weeks or so. Don't know.
Right.
Don't know.
Let's get on to people's questions. See if they can cheer us up. Usually there's a funny one or two. Maybe they can.
I'm looking forward to the non-football related ones, to be honest.
Jake Hall says, "Why do you hate me asking questions so much?"
I don't. It's Elliot that does.
Go away.
I don't know Jake well enough to hate him.
Charlie Bestett, why is Eric Peters our most clinical forward?
Because he scores great goals.
Lee Spooner and sort of Ben at Fozzie 1909 say, anyone else think that Butland, Shawcross and Allen should all be dropped?
I kind of agree with 2/3 of that. I've said a moment ago. I think Shawcross and Allen should. Butland not yet.
I don't think Butland should. Maybe the other two.
I think the other two.
Simon Deakin says, I work with Derby fans and they keep telling me we're missing a vital piece of the puzzle. At Burton, Brum and Derby, he had Kevin Summerfield with him, who was described as the brains of the operation after seeing the seemingly desperate throws of the dice on Saturday. I think they're right.
Who's this Summerfield? Is he this
must be a coach,
assistant or something? I mean, I don't know much about that, but that's reasonably insightful if that is true.
Interesting. Archie Bennett, is Rowett the man to get us back in the Prem?
I mean, as we sit here now, it doesn't look great, does it? But we are still relatively early on, I suppose.
I think maybe with time. I can't see it happening the rest of this season now. I think we've brought badly. Well, not badly, but we've not brought enough.
We've not brought players to... I don't think Rowett knows what formation he wants to play, having already changed it several times. And if you don't know what formation you're going to play, you can't buy players to fit that formation. And I think that's the problem we find ourselves in at the moment, to be honest.
Jack Morton asked the question that we're asking, why do you think Bauer isn't being played?
God knows. We've asked you for the answer. Put back out here. I don't know.
Dubai Potter, which system in 11 would you select for Sheffield Wednesday away? Craig will tell you in his preview video.
Maybe it'll be pointless
next week.
With no insight to that, but
what else is there on the Twitter?
There's a funny one in here just to pick this pod up a little bit.
Florida Stoke says, is Tony Scholes secretly a Vale fan? What the fuck's going on?
Right. Can't be that desperate, can he?
Right, we'll go on to the Facebook questions. See what we've got there.
Nothing's picked us up yet.
Nothing yet. No. Come on, there must be a funny one. There must be something to make us laugh.
I'm trying to think of the end of this podcast, some sort of like rousing, positive send-off. can conjure up something. But
Darren Williams says, do you think that Rowett has been backed fully? Because can you honestly think that he wanted to near enough keep the same back five that conceded nearly 70 goals last season, apart from the very two late loan deals?
I don't know. I mean, I've said that we have spent. I know we've made money through sales, but I think we've spent enough to suggest that he's been backed. But you, at the same time, El thinks that we should have gone a little bit further, if you likes of Gale and Ritchie. So, but we have spent a lot of money. Some clubs would die for the sort of money we've spent. Even those clubs that will be up there. Yeah, we have really.
A lot of people, including Lee Davis, says, how long do you give Gary Rowett if it doesn't change?
I don't really want to venture into the sort of discussion around sack the manager, because it's just ridiculously early. I know it's not going well, but it's very early. If I was going to give an answer, you'd think if we're below 12th at Christmas, my mind will start to wonder. And some people think that's ridiculous, but there's been so many times where we've seen teams click in the second half of the season and make a surge to the playoffs. Fulham did it last year. But if we're under 12th at Christmas, yeah, I'm probably been a little bit leaning there, aren't I? I imagine a lot of people shout at us.
If we're in, no, I think that's right. If we're in bottom half at Christmas, like sort of cut adrift from even the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think that's bad. I think that's very bad, considering what we've got, what we've put in.
Yeah,
I think that's a sackable offence.
Yeah, but I don't really want to. Yeah, I don't want to get into them sackable chats.
I don't. I'd rather him turn it round. Matt Bennett, this is one that could potentially pick us up. What are your first footballing memories?
My first footballing memory. That's a good question. Well done. Who's that?
Matt Bennett.
It was me. My granddad taking me to Victoria Grounds. It was England under 18s to play France under 18s in some. I think it was Euro under 18 competition summit. I remember Sol Campbell and Robbie Fowler featuring for England. Right. We sat in the Butler Street stand. That was one of my first memories. And I remember sitting in the Sentinel stand of the Victoria Ground, perched on the back of the wooden seats, and the smell of cigar smoke wafting across when I was like just a little kid. That's my first real memory of Stoke.
My first is the Victoria Ground. But I couldn't tell you what game, what happened. All I remember is I kept making my dad switch from the upper tier to the lower tier, and we did it about 5 times in one game.
Yeah,
we just walked. I think we were just walking around the majority of the game.
Yeah,
that's the first footballing memory I can remember. Yeah, but I can't remember much of it. I don't know how old I was either.
I think I had 3 season tickets to the Vic, so I've got just enough in there to remember it quite fondly. But
so you're a little older than me, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're an old man.
Old boy. Yeah.
Have we got another funny one? Liam Walker, what's worse, warm beer or cold tea?
Warm beer.
It's worse than cold tea?
It's a disgrace. I remember going to, I think we went Glastonbury several years ago, and it was a really hot year, and all the beer just turned to like this warm foam water. It's horrible.
But I can still drink warm beer. I can't drink cold tea.
They're both shit, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you'd still drink cold tea?
I wouldn't want to, but if there's one on the table, if you got me warm beer now and a cold tea,
you drink the cold tea?
I'd have the cold tea.
Really?
Yeah, warm beer is disgrace.
That's strange.
It's disgrace. You're not having that?
I'm not having that at all.
You're perplexed there.
I'm not having that at all. Surely you drink warm beer over cold tea.
I just remember that beer at Glastonbury several years ago.
What do you get out of a cold tea? At least warm beer, you're still getting pissed.
Well, I suppose. I mean, are we on about one here? Are we on about a session of tea or a session of beer?
Well, do you know what I mean? Know. That wasn't the question.
That is my answer. I'm sticking to it.
I'd rather have onto the Instagram now. Nathan Wallace says, what do you think about getting a board out banner?
I've been down this coach thing before last year, and when you say board, I assume you're including Peter Coates, the bloke that funded our amazing decade last year. I don't know if they're on
about Coates, maybe more so.
Well, Scholes and Cara, yeah, but I'm not going to near a Coates out sort of vibe, if that's what he's suggesting. I don't think that's a bit daft.
There's a lot of people asking about Bauer, which we're asking you.
Put it back to we don't know. Really there's got to be someone out there that's got some insight.
Really don't know. A lot of people asking about when we're going to click. Do you think we can still gain promotion? I'm really not sure. Someone's put, why are we so shit? A lot of people saying Gary Rowett isn't the man to take us forward.
The big thing for me is at the moment is because how many league games is that now? Is that 4 or 5?
5.
5, isn't it? And I don't know. It's so early on in the season. It's just difficult to answer half them kind of questions. We need to be in at least November before I can really, with any kind of confidence, say if I've got faith in this management team. So at the moment, I'm really not sure, but
right,
don't know.
We've had a bit of breaking news. Breaking news. This is the
It's good or bad?
checker trade line.
Oh right, okay.
Do you want to know it?
Yeah, why not? Bauer on the bench, is he?
Starting. Right.
Is he? Good.
Gaiolai in goal. I can never say that.
Okay.
Bauer, Collins, Sutar, Timon, Adam, Sorensen, Shenton, Pemberton, Campbell, and Jarvis.
Okay.
Quite a strong
It's a
strong side. It's a youth side. Quite strong.
Who's on the bench? Anyone have notes?
On the bench is Dexy, Soretto, Butler, Forrester, Waddington, Tandy, and Karamatang, the one who we signed from Dortmund.
Okay. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I don't know. Good luck to the lads.
Good luck,
Let's
lads.
win it. Let's get
Bauer,
to Wembley.
Why on you? This has been probably the most depressing podcast we've done.
And I came in here with, like I say, the day where it was all right. But Al, you've well and truly, understandably, but you've well and truly brought me down.
I didn't. Well, I did.
Well, it was Stoke, wasn't it?
I didn't. I didn't mean to. It's not my fault.
No, it's not.
It's not my fault. Well, now it's the international break. Even more fun.
Yeah.
Butland's in the squad, England squad.
Mm-hmm.
So have 3 other keepers. They've called an extra one up today.
Have they? 4 in the squad?
Yeah, four in the squad for friendlies.
This is unnecessary.
And the next game will be Sheffield Wednesday away on Saturday the 15th.
Mm-hmm. One of my favourite away grounds in the country.
You going?
Hopefully. It's a week before my wedding.
I'm in Singapore.
You're in Singapore, so I need to kind of... I'm meant to be planning for wedding stuff, obviously, but I need to... yeah, it's going to be a tricky one to get. I'll see.
Struggle to get that one
Yeah,
past the missus.
Yeah, I'll see.
But we've got a little bit of announcement. So Craig's obviously getting married in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks, yeah.
2.5 weeks. Craig's getting married, and then he goes on a jolly jolly honeymoon for about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Craig is not back until the
16th of October with my next
16th
pod.
of October.
6 weeks more or less away.
6 weeks away. Now I'm not doing this podcast by myself. So if there's anyone about, or maybe even by Skype, or maybe we could get a little Sam in, I've got no idea, I'm out of ideas. But if you want the Bear Pit pod to continue during that time, we're going to need a guest host for a little bit. Yeah. So put your applications in, send us a comment, a video at contact@thebearpittv.com, and you could be on the Bear Pit pod for a bit.
In worst case, if we get nothing back, maybe we could do a Skype from me honeymoon. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. If you're not doing all the business, consummating the marriage. That's what happens.
Does
what it's supposed to be.
Does it?
That's what's supposed to happen, Craig.
Yeah. Not an animal, Al. Not an animal.
So yeah, get your applications in because Craig's fucking off for a bit. So that has been the Bear Pit pod.
The most negative pod we've done by a mile.
We rounded it off with some consummation chat. So.
All I asked for, I generally would love some insight on the Bauer situation. Someone doing a bit of digging.
Yeah,
and
someone find out.
Because we're at a loss.
Should message Rory to that.
You got his number?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. He's back at there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
we had it all along.
We did, yeah.
But that has been the Bear Pit pod. Like it, comment on it, share it, subscribe if you don't already. On iTunes, Acast, SoundCloud, YouTube, all the places. That has been the Bear Pit pod, and we will see you if we can get a guest host in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll see you in 6 weeks.
Cheers, Craig.
Ta-ra.